Hey, true conceivers, welcome back to Heroic Origins. I'm Dave.
And I'm Terrence. And on this episode of the Heroic Origins podcast, we're in story mode.
We'll be outlining a 6-issue story using our most recent characters.
We'll randomly choose story elements for each issue, then see where they take our intrepid protagonist.
Each issue will get a 5-minute brainstorming period, plus a 5-minute revision period at the end.
Now get ready.
Because... collaborating time!
Before we get started, let's review our most recently created character.
Puberty is hard for anyone, but it's especially hard if you sweat psychedelic goo.
With his powers of gelatinous growth, high schooler Bradley Adams found popularity, but at a cost.
After a careless use of his new abilities led to tragedy, Bradley finds himself under scrutiny from the authorities.
Now he struggles to balance acceptance amongst his peers with responsibility to both his hippie mom at home and his fungal father seeding life across the cosmos.
He is a square jam. All right. So, okay, folks. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to pull up our outline here. And let me get to the right. Uh-oh. Here we go. Let's share the screen here. This is our outline. What we're going to do is we've got 6 issues that we have set up here to do. We're gonna brainstorm 6 issues. Now we have a random plot, character, and setting element for each of those issues that we pre-chose ahead of time. We pulled up ahead of time.
Randomly generated beforehand.
Yes, randomly generated ahead of time using the publisher parish storytelling system. So we're going to give ourselves 5 minutes to brainstorm each of these issues, and then we'll have a 5-minute revision period at the end. And Terrence, do you have a timer?
That's what we need.
One thing we're missing, we used to be able to put the timer on the screen, but that doesn't seem to be an issue. Huh?
I don't have my phone with me.
I have a phone.
Okay.
I have a phone right here, and I'm going to set a timer.
Are you sure? You sure you don't want me to do it? I can just go grab my phone.
I do want you to do it, Terrence, but we're already in the middle of the show, and the show must go on. So, all right. So we have a 5-minute timer here, and and we've got our basic character laid out. We also have access to our brainstorm episode sheet here that gives us more details about the character. But
I've got a timer.
You do have a timer, okay?
I've got one from Google.
Oh, very nice. All right. So you're setting it for 5 minutes, okay? Fantabulous. All right, Terrence. Well, okay. Why don't you start the clock?
I was going to say, do we want to review what we have as our random elements?
Sure. Let's look at. Okay, for issue 1, we have 3 random elements. The plot element is a character gets exactly what they deserve. Interesting to have that at the beginning of the story. The character element is insert a character's moral code into the story. And the setting element is insert a feeling of deja vu into the story.
Interesting.
Yes.
Right. 5 minutes starts now.
All right. So are we starting at the beginning or are we starting in the middle of this guy's story?
Oh,
they get exactly what they deserve. Do we want to start with the scene where his classmate either gets killed or goes crazy or whatever?
I mean, that seems like, whoever's been manipulating him to be like the party favor gets exactly what they deserve. That would be a perfect start. I think. Okay. Encapsulate the entire power and responsibility and everything and launch our character into their life.
So it would start off with he shows up at the party. He's obviously a younger kid compared to because they're older kids, right? That are manipulating him, right?
Right.
So
the bigger, more popular kids at the head of the football team or basketball team because he wanted to be tall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a basketball party. Yeah, and so he's drawn in here, and he shows up, but he's obviously the kid, and maybe it starts off with like people making fun of him at first until one of the star basketball people comes in. What are you doing? This is the main attraction.
Uh,
You
yeah.
know, and then he starts popping gelatin gel caps, and people are. We decided he's not getting licked. Is that what we decided?
Yeah. I think he like makes a little bloop bloop bloop, like has a
Pick them
makes a.
off and eat them, or what's the deal?
I was gonna say, can he just make like a bowl of them, like just generate them like ice cubes, like Iceman would, or something like just like.
Oh, okay. There's an idea. Okay, so like little cubes. Okay, so he makes little cubes, and people come over, and they. I mean, he could put them in little cups. If they have like cups ready, he could just sort of like pop, 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 like ice or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
What would you think a bowl though? And
Well,
then
I'm just
divide and
imagining.
grab 'em?
I want people to crowd around. Like I don't want him to, or he could be going through. Here's one. I mean, that seems more like a. I don't know. I'm imagining. That scene from like Spider-Man 3, where where Toby Maguire's like doing the little dance and.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I'm imagining that scene.
Well, I
You know,
kind of like
because
the. Okay, we're not going to have them licking him like a
no,
toad or something, a
no,
psychedelic toad. But I mean, I like the idea of them actually picking him off his body as they pop
okay.
up.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
So, because
I like them coming to him for
yeah,
that, not
yeah,
him
okay.
being able to distribute them widely. But
So they're picking him off his
maybe,
body.
yeah.
Does he take off his shirt, or does they just get it off his arm, or what? Like his neck?
I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's more. It seems more of a violation of him if he has to like disrobe a bit and people like are clamoring at him and clawing at.
Are you saying it's good for him to be violated like that in the story sense, or what are you saying?
Well, it's what he's giving up to be popular.
Yeah,
he's sacrificing of himself.
So it's symbolic. It's more symbolic. So let's say he has to take his shirt off to do it. So okay, so that's that's pretty wild. So okay, so he's.
I mean, it's not that he has to, but that's just like how it. I mean, he could.
Well, he's maybe got a lot of folks, and they're in demand, right? So he's like, and I think the whole idea was that he does it slowly, right? So okay, but anyway, the point is they surround him, and they're picking off the little gelatin, cubes, gel cubes, and everybody's getting into a psychedelic phase. They're all running around. Yeah, it's Square Jam, and
they're like jam.
And so then the tragedy happens. Somebody.
So who gets exactly what they deserve? I mean,
well, he does, because he's basically I mean, in the sense that he becomes the villain because he's not. He's.
Well, okay, we're coming up on a minute here.
Okay.
So we need.
Well, okay, so so a kid. Well, just the kids get psychedelic. Maybe just one of them wanders in the street, gets hit by a car. That's what you were thinking, right?
Yeah, something to that effect. Yeah.
So I mean, whatever. That kid
may have, the roof and decides he can fly. Maybe
that was one of the kids that was picking on him at the beginning, so they get what they deserve. They get killed by a car.
So we need to put it there. So, this is the beginning. So don't we need to put that there?
Well, the picking was when the person comes in. Remember when he comes in, he's being picked on at first until the basketball player says, "No, he's our star." And so the guy who was picking on him may be the asshole that gets hit by a car.
Okay.
So that's but the deja vu, what's the deja vu? That's the question there. Character gets exactly what they deserve.
Oh, that's our timer. I don't know how to make that stop.
You can't stop it?
There it is.
Okay, so Square Jam enters the party, gets picked on, but is saved by the star basketball player. He takes off his shirt and starts popping out Square Jam. What's the name of our character again?
Bradley.
Oh, yeah. Bradley enters the party. Okay. Starts popping out Square Jam. And everybody partakes.
They surround him and chant. I just like that the imagery of that.
Enchants. Okay, yeah, okay. They all go into they all start tripping. One of the bullies, we'll say,
Yes.
one of the bullies wanders out into into the street and is hit by a car.
Honestly, though, is that getting exactly what he deserves by being a bully? Like he gets.
No, you're right. It's not. But I mean, but it's kind of. Well, he doesn't have to. I don't say. Let's say he doesn't die. I don't see why he needs to die, but he could get in an accident.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think we're a little loose. The character gets exactly what they deserve.
Well, we also didn't get the deja vu. We ran out of time, so we got to remember this.
Yeah,
the next one, we're going to have to be quicker about it.
Yeah.
We've got a revision period later.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, that's issue 1. Okay, issue 2. We got a random plot element that is something is destroyed. A random character element. Insert a character's aversion into the story.
Aversion. Okay.
Aversion. Aversion. That means it's something that icky.
Yeah, yeah.
A phobia could be just something they don't like.
Insert a character into the justice system.
Well, yes, that's right. Well, I think there's actually a natural thing there. So, all right. So, start the clock.
Wait, let me turn the client sound out again. And here we go.
All right. So, okay. Well, I mean, there's some obvious stuff here that the justice system is that, the police come and they're
because there's been an accident and everybody's tripping and
he's under suspicion. Yeah. Cause one of the things was that he's canonically kept under.
I mean, if all the kids are tripping except for him and they're like, it was him, he's the guy, but it's like, you can't take their word for it because they're all on drugs. Right. So maybe he gets
but this is the thing. They wouldn't do that, right?
Oh no, but like maybe, I mean, they're all on drugs, so they're not going to be in their right mind. And maybe that's what the police can glean, that it seems like there's some connection with this one kid who's like the younger kid who's not even on drugs.
Well, I think the thing is that
there's suspicion, right?
Well, what is they're going to like, oh yeah, this guy started popping gelatin out of his skin and we were eating it and we got all high. Yeah. I mean, it's like they're not going to believe that. So
right, exactly. Yeah, that's where I'm going. Yeah, like it's not that they could really finger him and say that's the guy. It's that and maybe the aversion is just somebody maybe the bloody kid in the street hit by the car like freaks out a bunch of them and they go running through the neighborhood.
That could be. Well, but the aversion could just be that we could use didn't insert the more in the first thing.
You're breaking up a lot. You're like freezing.
Oh, really?
To me, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't have any special stuff on. Let's see. My connection looks good. Are you going to stop the clock if we're going to work on technical stuff?
Here, yeah. Let me pause that. Yeah, because you just got really blurry and everything.
Well, everything looks good on my end, but what's your bars? How many bars do you have?
I mean, I'm wired in, so.
Oh, you're wired in. Okay.
Huh. I don't know.
Well, I can go out and come back in or something, or let me close some things.
I was gonna say
we don't need. Huh?
I was saying maybe I could close something. Let me see what's.
Yeah. Do you have some things open? Am I cutting out now?
No, you're fine now. I don't know.
So, everybody, occasionally we have this is also doubling as an episode of Lost Piñata. This part will be edited out of the heroic origins.
Well, I was going to say immediately following.
Yes, immediately following Lost. Piñata will be
Piñata.
immediately following our heroic origins episode, and we will have a post-game review. I'm fine right now, though.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm not seeing anything that I can really get rid of. So.
Well, you would open something earlier, right?
Yeah.
It could be somebody else on Wi-Fi at your place.
No, I mean that wouldn't. I mean
that wouldn't affect it.
No, nobody's on anything.
But you're wired in. You're not even using Wi-Fi, so that's well. Maybe I need to get something where I can wire in directly. Maybe that's the thing. Well, why don't we try to push forward and see what happens?
So yeah. All right. So just if I look at you concerned that you might have frozen, I couldn't understand you. That's all. Like I couldn't understand what you were saying there.
Okay.
That's why I was like, oh wait.
The funny thing is we don't know who's lagging until we actually get the recording afterward, right?
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right.
Well, I should probably get a wire to do a direct thing at some point.
Should I add 30 seconds and the
sure.
Clock?
Sure.
All right, so here we go. 3 minutes, 33 seconds to go. And
all right, so the police show up at the scene of the accident or party, and they interview the partygoers. Most are mum. Our mum about where the drugs came from, came from, and and when they detail it, it's too trippy to believe them. Right?
Yeah, I would say not necessarily mum, but lost in their own little worlds of. What's destroyed? What if it is somebody like I can fly, jumping off the roof and landing and crushing a car or something?
It could be that. So
could be both. Could be somebody jumps off of.
Well, there's a lot of they could all
runs into somebody else.
All the party goers could kill themselves, but I think one of the there could be a whole bunch of. I'd feel bad about that. That would suck as a power.
Well, yeah, if a bunch of people, if a few handful of people get injured, like 3 or 4 kids get injured, that would be perfect for our story. Not.
Well, but the thing is that he gets picked up. So but they point. So he gets arrested. Because if you've got 5 people who say it was this kid,
yeah,
then he's going to get arrested. So
no, 5 kids. 5 people. They say it was the head of the football team. He gave me something. It was the head of they're all over the place. And the only person who's sober is this kid who's not talking. If he's even there,
but I feel like they're gonna take him and the basketball captain in for questioning.
Yeah.
So okay. So
maybe the basketball captain's the one who gets hit by a car and he's in a coma.
Well, then the kid Bradley gets taken into custody. I think that's the bottom line. Is Bradley gets taken in for question. Bradley gets taken into custody, and that means his parents are going to get involved.
Yeah. Is this at his house or somebody else's house?
Oh, it's somebody else's house. Definitely, it's not. Yeah, and notifying his mom. And so I don't know. The version could be. I
still say just the bloody
body. Version of blood.
Maybe that's what alerts the cops is just kids running away from there's.
Well, he's into being popular, but he ended up kind of hurting people. He doesn't really want to hurt people, right?
Right.
So he has an aversion. Okay.
He has an aversion
to hurting people, getting hurt.
Okay.
Because of him.
Okay. Okay. There. I feel it.
Do we have time? What time is it?
We got 22 seconds.
Okay. Well, I think we got this here.
A car is destroyed, and he's averse to hurting people.
Bradley is averse to hurting people. We'll just say averse is not the word. He regrets it.
There's our time.
Okay. So, all right, on to issue 3. All right, our 3 elements, our random plot element is 2 or more characters reconcile. Random character element. Insert a character's obsession into a story. And a random setting element. Describe the weather in the story. Okay. Are we ready? We'll roll that, hit the clock.
All right, ready and go.
All right. So the 2 more, I think the natural thing would be if his mom's coming to pick him up. Actually, you know what? What if his father comes to him while he's in jail? He's in custody.
Okay.
What if his father, the fungal god, shows up and is like, and like he's been absent all this time, and this is the time that he decides to show himself when he gets not incarcerated, but because he's a kid, right? But he's being held at the police station.
Well, is his fungal godfather like? Is he human type? Or like how?
No, he's a fungal god. But
Okay.
they're estranged. I'm just saying when we're talking about, I mean, they're not necessarily at odds with each other, but he's been absent his whole life, right? So that would be kind of a reconciliation if he appears all of a sudden. And what he could do is he could like take him out to the character's obsession. The father's obsession is with seeding life.
I think that the obsession thing definitely goes with his father.
So he takes him from the holding cell, and they go and he shows them it's like, now that you've discovered your powers, let me show you what you can do with them, and we can start creating life across the universe, and we can describe the weather in the story too.
Well, I mean, he can arrive via a rain, damp, humid.
You don't think he just comes in as a gassy or like steam or something?
Well, I'm just thinking that could be the weather, and then he's just like,
I see what you're saying.
The weather just manipulated.
So it's like really rainy, and this mold creeps through the window.
Like just starts growing and proliferating in the.
Okay, so Bradley,
like the toilet or something. It should be like all sorts of gross places, just mildew.
So Bradley is in a locked room at the police station, waiting for his mom to pick him up. It's raining heavily outside. And the mold and mildew is seeping through the window, morphs into his long absent fungal godfather. So okay, and he takes him off. Did we come up with a name for the father?
I don't know. I don't think
we did. Well, that's okay. We can come up with it later. His father takes him, transports him to a lifeless planet light years away, and shows him how they can bioform? What do you call it? What do you call it when you're terraforming?
Is it terraforming? I mean, he's spreading life, though. He's not.
Well, terraforming is where you're making it Earth-like, I guess, which is plants and stuff. Oxygen.
I'll give you terraforming.
Right. Well, we'll do it for now. Okay, they can terraform planets. And then I'm assuming that Bradley gets scared and he's like, "No, take me back!" And he takes him back, and then
does he physically transport him or just mentally transport him? Like if he leaves the jail, isn't that going to be a bigger problem?
I say we lean into that.
Okay.
They think that he's left the cell, and it's like, where did he go? And then they come back, and he's there.
Okay.
And it's like, so how they can transport the planets. Okay, Bradley complains and is returned to his holding cell. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, he could offer, this is your way out. You're trapped here, but I can show you the world. You can be out of this. And he's like, no, I've got to go back. My teammates were hurt.
My teammates. He's not even on the team.
He was on the team. He was just,
He was a
not good because he's a tiny Samoan.
okay. That's right. I forgot about that. His father tries to convince him
There's our time
to stay, but fails. Okay. All right. Okay, we're moving along. This is good. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Issue
4. Do you want to read the random plot element? The random elements here?
Our plot element is a trap is sprung. Character element, we introduce a villain. And our setting element, we describe the surrounding activity level in the story. Interesting. I don't even know what this. Well, let's start our timer. And here we go.
All right. Well, the villain, I think one of the villains we had talked about was like either a principal or a police detective. Because I mean, the thing is he's going to show up. This is organic material that nobody recognizes. It's probably dissolved 100% by the time they get there. So they're like, there's no evidence beyond people tripping.
Yeah.
And he can always claim that they were just picking on him, because he was the,
Yeah.
So there's that they may have nothing to hold him on, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
But there's a detective who,
yeah,
he's a kid. How old is he? 13, 14?
I think he's got to be
puberty.
Yeah, it was just puberty. So
13. He's like 13. He's a kid.
Let's make him a late bloomer. He's 14.
Okay, that's fine. 14 it is.
It's like everybody's like past him.
So let's describe the surrounding level, because the activity level is that everybody's looking for him because he disappeared from the holding cell.
Okay.
So everybody's okay. The police are frantically looking for him. And his mother is upset. They lost him. I'm sorry?
Because they lost her child, yeah.
So that's the setting.
Yes.
The trap is sprung. That's the see. This is the thing. The person who I think what it is, the detective that is suspicious, is the one that comes out and he's actually all nice or something. Like he's like, you know what? We don't have anything to hold him on. So, but just keep in touch if you hear anything about this. I don't know if that's really a trap, but what would be a trap?
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense that it's the cop who's the villain, who's gonna have a trap. So
it could also be somebody he ran into, like another person that was being held at the police station that decides, well, if what they say about this guy is true, we need to get on top of that.
Yeah.
So it could be a drug dealer. I don't think they would have put him in a shared cell because he's a minor.
No, they would. Yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't mean that somebody couldn't have overheard what was going on.
Yeah. Or there could be a dirty cop who's like, hey.
Oh.
This kid's got something that's popular.
So they have nothing to hold him on, but a trap is sprung. That's like, what kind of trap could it be? Like from one of unless it's one of the kids somehow set him up for maybe that's it. They had a prank. They put something in his pocket, and it's like it's just a prank that.
One of the bullies did something. Yeah.
Yeah. Like maybe it's like a exploding string or something.
Something that would make it even look more like he's the victim of these older kids, even though the cop is like suspicious and it's like, look, he obviously had nothing, he was being, bullied.
Well, what would be a prank? What would be a prank that goes off, sort of delayed prank?
Smoke bomb, stink bomb, something.
A dog turd in his pocket? What? I mean,
that's,
Um,
I don't know. Maybe the cop is like, "Oh, but we found this on you," and he dumps out stuff like that. It was like, "How do you explain this?" And he's got like, I don't know, bags full of oregano or something, like, because the kids thought it'd be funny, you know.
oh, well, that actually is a trap right there. That's like he could be being framed or something. Okay. Oh, so it was
It was like
oh,
the
actually, I
kid,
like that. I like that.
yeah.
He was just being picked on by older kids. Um, the police found bags of oregano on him. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Which, you know, his mom working at the dispensary, of course, is going to be like, "What are you guys talking about? This is oregano."
Mom points out that it's not contraband. Okay. 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 Well, actually, that's okay. And that way, we basically just end with him.
Oh,
Wait, did we get everything? A trap is
I
sprung.
think
Yes.
so, yeah.
Introduce. It's a small trap. Introduce a villain. Describe the surrounding activity level in the story. Uh, and
Yeah.
then yeah, and then she just takes him home.
Yeah. Yeah. That's our time
Mom
ran out.
takes him home. Okay. Cool. Are we? How much time do we have?
Our time ran out. Our time ran out.
Oh, I didn't hear the timer.
Yeah, I didn't have the sound on. It just didn't. That's what I was just saying.
Okay.
Because I keep turning it off when it goes off. So
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Okay. All right. Well, this is coming along. I'm enjoying this. Okay. Issue 5. Though there's a point. There's to some extent this could actually be one issue. Okay. Whatever. The point is we're building the story here, whether that be one issue or 6 issues. Okay. So issue 5. Why don't you read the?
perfect.
Huh?
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm reading ahead. Like, this is perfect though. So the plot element: 2 or more characters have a bonding experience. The character element is we introduce a mentor,
Oh, this is perfect.
and the setting element is we insert a place of healing into the story.
Well, that's just too easy.
I
Too
know.
easy. Okay. Hit the clock. Hit the clock.
Here we go.
Well, obviously, his mom bonds with him because she used to get arrested when she was a kid too. Because she would be
Yeah.
so they bond over this experience. Okay. Mom and son bond over
But
getting arrested.
But there's also the story now of his father who visited him that comes out to that he learns about, right? Because he didn't know about his father before, right?
That's true.
So, and his father can arrive as a mentor for his burgeoning powers.
Wait, so does the father show up on the drive back?
Well, he could talk to his mother about his father visiting him, and yeah, they could.
Well, who's the mentor? Is it the mom or is it the father or
I would
both?
think the father would be a mentor for his powers at least. But because like the struggle with his dad is his dad wants him out in the cosmos and he wants to be home, right? So his dad is going to.
I think we already introduced him though, right? So
Yeah.
the mom has to be introduced.
Oh, introduce a mentor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it makes sense that the mom would be introduced as a mentor as well, because she would just be. It's like they bond over getting arrested, and she tells him, "Look, if you're going to do this, this is what you need to do to avoid
avoid getting busted."
Yeah.
Great mom.
Well, hey, she had an affair with a fungal space god, right? So I don't know. Why not?
Just funny. That's not how I was imagining his mother as being like the hippie, you know.
Well, but this is she has a different moral center. She's like, there's really nothing wrong with this,
right.
but you have to keep it under control. You have to. You don't want to get busted. You don't want to hurt your.
Yeah.
It's one of those things with like great. And it's like, and I don't know where you got what you got.
But she does. She knows.
Does she know about his power?
Well, I guess she wouldn't necessarily know about his powers, but if he talks to her about his dad, like, I was visited by this.
Oh yeah.
Then she'd be like, "Oh, this is interesting."
Okay, so this
is you're gonna have to figure out your own path of who you are and what you're gonna do with this, but
Do you think this is? Do you think he's? Does he ever? You don't think he'd be scared to tell his mom that Dad came by?
Well, he might mention. Well, if his dad says anything about his mom, like that's because I mean, if his dad's like, "No, come see the universe with me," you don't think he would mention that you're my son? It's like
he would, yeah. So okay,
Mole came by and said I was his son. Like, I mean, that's Mom, you never talked about my dad, and now there's fungus.
So then she's okay, but we've got to insert a place of healing into the story. What if we say they're the original? Because this would be where you have the flashback and they talk about how they met. What if she met him and it was a healing place?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. What if there's some like she takes him to this like grove in the woods, or some moldy hole.
She takes him, but it has to be, but like this is like in the flat, like she talks about like this is where I met your dad was in this moldy hole. Maybe they drive there. Maybe that's the thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. She takes him to the space where
they go to the moldy hole.
Moldy hole.
Where she met his father. And she was, now this is the thing, she was healed by him. Yeah. Right? We'll say in the past when they met,
let's call it a mushroom palace instead of a moldy hole. He is a god. I don't know. There's something.
The mushroom palace / moldy hole where she met his father. But the thing is that I think that the idea is though is that she was like a drug addict on harder stuff.
Yeah.
And you know how psychedelic therapy will...
Right, yeah. He opened her mind and freed her and saved her life. Yeah.
She had been addicted to much harder drugs. But her father's fungi...
His father's.
His father had saved her with psychedelic fungi. Fungi therapy. Okay, so that's like the backstory. That's kind of cool. Okay, all right. What's our time? Oh, hey,
our time.
Perfect. We nailed it.
That I think is our best issue. It all came together right there.
It's that's good. So, all right. So our do you want to read the plot elements here again?
All right. So for issue 6 of our character arc, this is the final issue of this arc.
Yeah.
Of this arc. We have a plot element is a journey begins or ends. The character element, you introduce a sidekick. Your setting element is to insert a tactile sensation into the story. Okay.
All right. Okay, hit the clock.
Oh.
Well, this is I'm gonna throw this out there. The sidekick, his father sends him a little fungal sidekick thing.
Like a little mushroom there.
Yeah, just sort of a little mushroom guy to sort of say, it's like, hey there, Bradley.
Like a little Jiminy Cricket mushroom.
Yeah, a little Jiminy Cricket type of thing.
I love that.
That's how he communicates with his father. It's like, Daddy says you should come see the planet with us. So why don't we say like he's got a fungal friend?
Yes, fungal friend.
Okay. Father sends Bradley a fungal friend to act as sidekick and intermediary. Okay. So this is after, I'm presuming let's just say that's like this is after this is the same night he gets home from the jail after, okay. And he goes to his room and that's where the fungal creature is, right?
Okay. Well, do we reintroduce his father? Like, does his father come back? Like,
no. I think it's just he goes into his bedroom, and there's this. He's gonna go to sleep. He turns off the light, and it's like, hey.
What if he? Oh wait, with our tactile sensation, he goes to sleep and he feels something grow out of his shoulder or something. You know?
Oh God. Okay.
Like he feels this mushroom lump.
So it's actually attached to him.
Well, it actually just
grows out of him.
What if his father could do that? Like, just grow things out of him, and that's how his father like communicates, like sends him things.
His bedroom turns out the lights, then feels something growing out of his shoulder.
Like, there's a nice bit of body horror for you.
That's very cool. Turns out the growth can talk. It's a fungal friend
from his father.
From his father, that's right. From his father. To provide guidance and act as an intermediary between.
It's like a little, like, I don't know, just because he's a god, right? Is this like a little prophet mushroom? Like,
oh yeah, maybe it could be like, maybe it's like tiny. It's tiny, but it's got a beard and a cane, and it's like, you shall learn from me. It's like Gandalf, like a little tiny
mushroom Gandalf,
mushroom and moss covered Gandalf. So, but this is great because one journey ends, which is coming back from the police station, and this is I will train you in your powers. Maybe that's what it is.
This is the beginning of his journey, definitely. Like, as a hero, I guess, because he's still going to be a hero, right?
Well, he will, but I guess that's not offers to.
I would think that this would be the beginning of that journey. Like, we're going to train, we're going to learn, you're going to master these powers. So,
yeah.
So,
but I mean, nothing about a moral center. We actually have not, except for him having an aversion to hurting people.
Well, I thought that his moral center was, oh my God, look at my weapons. Look at what my powers did, and
well,
I don't want to do that.
Well, in the revision period, maybe we can go back and talk about his mother's values, which, even though she's into drugs and stuff, she's like, she's peace and love.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, she's not like,
Yeah. You can. So, I mean, because that's one of the things. The mom is like, we're talking about responsible drug usage.
Yeah. She's much more free. She's not as, she's not tied to societal norms, I guess, more so.
But she does understand how to do it and not get people hurt,
Right.
It's like you don't just give it to anybody,
Right.
If you got somebody that looks like that, don't give it to somebody who's an addict. Don't give it to somebody who thinks they're going to get into trouble. You want to do it in a safe spot. I think we're done with the last issue. We're just kind of going into jumping into the revision period already.
We got 10 seconds, so How long is our revision period?
5 minutes. Another 5.
Was it just 5? Okay.
Well, knowing how loose our rules are, if we get to that 5 minutes and we haven't done it, but why don't we just review real quick what we've got?
All right.
First issue. Bradley enters a party, gets picked on by a bully, but is saved by the star basketball player. He takes off his shirt and starts popping out Square Jam, and everybody surrounds him and chants.
They all start tripping, and one of the bullies wanders out into the street and is hit by a car.
Okay, issue 2. The police show up at the scene of the accident/party, interviews the partygoers. Bradley regrets the accident. Most are mum about where the drugs came from, and the accounts are too trippy to be believed anyway. Bradley gets taken into custody, and they notify his mom.
Issue 3. Bradley is in a locked room at the police station waiting for his mom to pick him up. It's raining heavily outside, and the mold and mildew seeping through the window morphs into his long-absent fungal father. Godfather. His father,
not the Godfather. It's his father who's a god.
Father who is a fungal god. His father transports him to a lifeless planet light years away and shows him how they can terraform planets. Bradley complains and is returned to his holding cell. His father tries to convince him to stay, but fails, and the police have been frantically looking for him.
So that actually carries over to the next issue. Issue 4. The police are frantically looking for Bradley, and his mother is upset that they lost him. They have nothing to hold him on, but ask the mother to stay in touch. The detective is suspicious, but everyone else thinks he was just being picked on by older kids. The police found bags of green leafy substance on him, but his mom, who works in a dispensary, points out that's just oregano. And then mom takes him home.
So mom and son bond over getting arrested. She tells him how to avoid getting busted, and he mentions he was visited by his father. They go to the Mushroom Palace / Moldy Hole, where she met his father. She had been an addict. She'd been addicted to much harder drugs. She'd been an addict in her past, but his father saved her with psychedelic fungi therapy.
That's right. All right, in issue 6, after getting back from the police station, Bradley goes to his bedroom, turns out the light, then feels something growing out of his shoulder. Turns out the growth can talk. It's a fungal friend that was sent by his father to provide guidance and act as an intermediary between him and his dad. His fungal friend offers to train him on how to use his powers.
And thus begins the journey.
Of Square Jam. Okay, so I don't know that there's that much to revise. I think it's a pretty solid story. Is there just more detail we want to put in?
The clock. Okay. The only thing really was that first issue we didn't get there quick enough. We didn't find the feeling of deja vu.
Yeah, we didn't do the deja vu, and we didn't do a moral code in the first one. We got to the moral code in the second one, though.
I mean, I thought we had an idea of the moral code, though, in the first one. It was just that...
well, he's trying to be popular.
Yeah, and this is where he learns the lesson. Like, oh, no, everybody...
I think the deja vu is the trickier part. How do we insert deja vu?
What if... I don't know. I mean, like, what about his power might remind him somehow of, like, the garden or the picking mushrooms? Like,
he has, like maybe he's got memories. Maybe he's attached to other, like when he's being all fungal.
Mm-hmm.
He can sense the memories of all the fungus around him or something like that.
I think, we did say something about him being able to communicate with fungus or something.
That's right. He can communicate with fungi. So. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So
maybe there's some, like, maybe he has some tactile memory, like thing where just like the plucking of it reminds him of.
Oh yeah.
Of
It reminds. Okay. It connects him. He has memories of fungal.
Like just really of a garden, like just like he doesn't connect it to anything, but he just has this feeling because he doesn't know that he's a fungal. He doesn't even know that he's creating a fungus yet.
He has memories of a garden being picked, or being picked from a garden.
Yeah.
Of being picked from a garden, as though he were a mushroom. Okay.
So that's a little foreshadowing.
Yeah, I like that. So it's like little flashes and stuff. I see. Yeah. They also everybody. So it's sort of like he's tripping, but he's not really tripping. He's having something else going on. They're tripping, but he's actually having memories.
Yeah, well, it's an aspect
ancestral
of
memories.
Probably. Yeah, it's probably an aspect of his power, just connecting. For the first time back through fungus in the.
I'm going to call them ancestral memories because it's kind of like his.
Okay. Yeah.
That's not accurate, but it's sort of what we're talking about.
I don't know if you watch. Well, there's that new Star Trek Discovery where they travel like the universe on a mushroom network, the mycelium network.
Okay, I want to talk about that, but let's talk about it later.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. Then you have like basically this idea that all the mushrooms are connected. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Or ancestral. Maybe it's like not ancestral, but species memories. Special.
Ancestral. I understand that word.
Okay. You can find a better word later. But okay, the moral of the story, though, that's the thing.
So,
I mean, we've got I guess we have the morals of the basketball players. So the basketball player is using him. So there's a moral in there. They're using kids,
but like he's just like, oh my God, like, somebody gets hit by a car. Oh my God, I'm never going to do this again. I mean, his aversion to hurting people with his powers directly falls in line with him.
I'm just saying it's the same thing for issue 1 and 2 then, which is fine. Why don't we just say that
they're? Oh no, I'm sorry, I didn't realize the aversion is in the second issue.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that's okay. But I mean, we're displaying other moral codes.
Okay, so who's moral code? Yeah, okay, there.
I don't know. I think we're fine. I mean, there's moral issues involved there because we got bullying.
Well, you could have, the basketball captain being like, if you want to be popular, you gotta give the people what they want.
Oh yeah, saved up basketball. Yeah. Okay, who says want to be popular?
Oh yeah, and then he has to you got to give the people what they want. Go ahead and take it off. It's like that.
They want
fame.
Go ahead and take it off. Okay. Okay.
Takes off his
shirt and starts popping out square jam. This is disturbing. It's a 14-year-old kid. So
yeah.
But that happens. Okay, what are we doing on time?
We got 6 seconds left, so here it comes.
Hey everybody! I think we got ourselves a story here. Ding dong! The witch is dead. So cool. All right. Well, we've got our.
That is a wonderful plot. I think.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think that's very cool.
He's got a lot of range there too. Like, I mean, just as being, all of the trauma of being the kid that's picked on and has, people abusing him in that way, and what he's going to feel about what he did as far as sacrificing his own worth for their pleasure, and like there's some really heavy story there.
We've got a lot of great themes there. Yeah, it's a complex story, and it's funny. It's interesting because the character was, I think we were worried it might be a little too funny at first, right? So he's popping out gelatin.
Yeah,
it's like a gelatin version of the Thing.
Well, I mean, he still has a little, mushroom pal now at the end. So it's like you have a really good balance of those, of darker themes, and this would be a perfect, allegory for kids, honestly, for your modern comic book.
That's right.
I see, just your, your Spider-Man type character. Yeah.
Well, folks, we're going to wrap up this show here, and then we're going to have a little Lost Piñata recap afterward. But that's it for this episode. Well, we want to hear from you, true conceivers. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? Leave us a comment or email at heroicpod@gmail.com, and we'll respond to your feedback on upcoming episodes.
Don't forget to show your support, share, subscribe, or just hit that like button. It all helps.
And that's a wrap. Keep on hero
smithing, true conceivers.
Say it again.
Keep on hero smithing, true conceivers.
We'll see you next time on Heroic Origins. Thop! Oh, wait. I'm not on the ball.
All right, so want to stop and then restart as Lost Piñata?
What do you know?
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah. This is the idea.
Oh, we were going to actually end the stream, you mean?
Yeah, I was going to say, we could make it a separate little...
Oh.